IAM lets administrators authorize who can take action on specific resources. An IAM policy has a who part, a can do what part, and an on which resource part. The who part names the user or users you're talking about. The who part of an IAM policy can be defined either by a Google account, a Google group, a service account, an entire G Suite, or a cloud identity domain. The can do what part is defined by an IAM role. An IAM role is a collection of permissions. Most of the time, to do any meaningful operations, you need more than one permission. For example, to manage instances in a project, you need to create, delete, start, stop, and change an instance. So the permissions are grouped together into a role that makes them easier to manage. The who part of an IAM policy can be a Google account, a Google group, a service account, or an entire G Suite or cloud identity domain. There are 3 kinds of roles in Cloud IAM. Let's talk about each in turn. Primitive roles are broad. You apply them to a GCP project, and they affect all resources in that project. These are the owner, editor, and viewer roles. If you're a viewer on a given resource, you can examine it but not change its state. If you're an editor, you can do everything a viewer can do, plus change its state. And if you're an owner, you can do everything an editor can do, plus manage roles and permissions on the resource. The owner role on a project also lets you do one more thing: set up billing. Often, companies want someone to be able to control the billing for a project without the right to change the resources in the project. And that's why you can grant someone the billing administrator role. Be careful. If you have several people working together on a project that contains sensitive data, primitive roles are probably too coarse. Fortunately, GCP IAM provides a finer-grained types of roles. GCP services offer their own sets of predefined roles, and they define where those roles can be applied. For example, later in this course, we'll talk about Compute Engine, which offers virtual machines as a service. Compute Engine offers a set of predefined roles, and you can apply them to Compute Engine resources in a given project, a given folder, or in an entire organization. Another example, consider Cloud Bigtable, which is a managed database service. Cloud Bigtable offers roles that can apply across an entire organization to a particular project or even to individual Bigtable database instances.